We're gonna dive in today to where confidence at the end of the day begins and how to strengthen it. I'm Dan Hunt. I'm a performance coach, and I've helped individuals and teams win championships at the highest level, both high school and college sports. And at the end of the day, there's endless combinations to their success, both on and off the field. A lot of times people talk about like, hey man, there's 1, 2, 3 steps. Like there's endless combinations to success. And so at the end of the day, like the first thing I want to say is that confidence is rooted in identity. These individuals and teams both understand that thing, that identity and a strong sense of that identity is where everything flows. It's their habits, it's their actions, it's the routines that actually bring forth their identity in what they're trying to accomplish. And the thing is that it starts with awareness. They are critically aware of not only their strengths, their weaknesses, their tendencies, their dislikes, but even the things that actually set them off and even trigger them at times. And I know that can be a word that people go, oh, I don't know, and they kind of tiptoe around that. But the thing is that these individuals that win at a high level, they lean into those things. They don't allow these triggers to continue to happen. They actually face these things. They lean into these things and they develop through these things. And really all of that confidence being rooted in their identity is that they lean into these things. They remind themselves of their strengths. They remind themselves of the things that they're great at. But they also lean in and develop these weaknesses, or they lean into the things that maybe set them off, or they know they don't leave that rock unturned and try to avoid the things that are challenging, but they actually lean into that. And because of that, they're unapologetically themselves. They know these things about themselves and they don't cut corners. They don't apologize for being the way that they are. They fully embrace that and live that out. The other thing is that confidence is developed through establishing a performance-enhancing view of yourself. It's uncovering the aspects that make you you and that make you great, and then continually reminding yourself of those things, not only when things are going great, but especially when things are going bad. See, the thing is that they don't look to the external in the results or the outcomes, whether they're getting them or not, to reinforce who they are. They look at their actions, their habits, their behaviors, actually their thoughts that reinforce who they are. They develop and remind themselves of this performance-enhancing view of themselves in the morning, before practices, before games, and in the evening. And in the morning and the evening are especially important because that's when you're most susceptible to reworking your thought patterns, reworking your neural pathways. And these neural pathways are responsible for our thought processes, for our actions, for our behaviors. They remind themselves of this in that performance-enhancing view of themselves when things are going great, but they also do it when it's not going great. They develop the skill and the strength instead of looking at the results or the outcomes to say, this is validating or this is telling me who I am and the worth that I have as a player. Instead, they're going, hey, that's information. What do I do with that information? And I'm still going to show up how I want to show up. I'm still going to show up with this performance-enhancing view of myself, that I'm the guy, that I can do this, that I have the skill and ability, that I've put in the work. Whatever that is, they continue to reinforce that over and over and over again in every situation. And the other thing is that their confidence is fortified through intentionally testing and challenging themselves. It's literally built through them purposefully putting their feet to the fire. It's doing the hard thing. It's challenging themselves to gain the strength and experience that they want to show up how they want to show up in every situation. They don't skirt around and avoid things that are exposing. Actually, they do the opposite. They lean in and they say, how do I expose myself and continue to be the person that I desire to be, that I have intentionally said that I was going to be in every situation? The fact is that you can never outperform your self-image. And so if you're somebody that when things aren't going well, you're telling yourself, like, I suck, I'm not good at this, oh, I'm terrible, I can't do this. Like, you need to dig in and begin to start thinking about, what is the performance enhancing view of myself? Who am I? What are the things that make me great? What are the areas that I actually need to develop in? If there's capacity, there's endurance, there's perseverance that I have to develop, what does that look like? And how do I start putting myself in situations where I can begin to develop that? The thing is that you aren't a bad person. These things are just information that great competitors lean into and say, how do I use this information for my benefit? How do I use this information for my growth? How do I lean in to this and begin to face these things and develop the confidence through that. Keep putting the work in. Don't stop with experiencing something and saying, I'm not good at this, so I'm gonna avoid it. Actually, lean into that thing and say, what is it that I can do to keep developing through that? And to continue to get support and to continue to get strategies and help you develop these skills, make sure you're subscribing. We're going to continue to develop and put out content, resources, information to help you figure out what's the combination for you. What's the combination that allows you to be at your best? And we believe that greatness is within everybody. And so it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that comes forth. And as you start developing it, when you start seeing evidence of it. And again, it's finding that combination for you. So keep chasing this down, keep subscribing, sharing this, and stay connected.